Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
Yeah, Kyle. You just better shut that trap of yours. What's up? Hi. I haven't played that soundbite in forever. And it, you know what? It just makes me happy for Aquafina to tell somebody named Kyle to shut up. Okay? It brightens my day. Things could be down and out and be like, oh gosh, it's just another day at work. Ugh. And then all of a sudden I hear this.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
And the sky is bright and clear. The rainbow is shining across the meadow. It's great. Hey, what's up? It's the Huff. Hope you're having a great day. A lot to get into. Can't wait. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Don't forget, today's show is presented to you by Bet Online. I'll tell you about them in a second. I tweeted out the most random picture I could to just a random thing to just be like, hey, I'm about to record, and it's a picture that I found. Somebody made it. I don't know who. It's Robocop hugging from behind C3PO. And C3PO is pregnant. It's just, I don't know who thought of that. I don't know how they made it. AI, I guess, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Then I was thinking, I was like, what kind of baby would they make? At first, I was like, maybe a transformer, but neither of them transform into anything. What kind of baby would they make? An abomination. Yes, because he's half human. So you'd be making a half human cyborg from the DC comics, right? That's his true origin story. They just had to change it because people are like, whoa, no. Intercourse? No. Ooh. Anyway, so go check that out. Excuse me, as I shoot boogers out my nose. Oh my God, is it that type of day today? I thought I'd be fine. And then all of a sudden I'm shooting boogers out my nose. A lot to get into. Cannot freaking wait. A lot of great stories to hit on. But real quick, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Now, if you think you know your stuff, get in on Bet Online's $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against a spread every single week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the game's all over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. And speaking of starting, I have fluids coming out of everywhere, out of my nose, out of my mouth. I just spit all over my computer. Okay. It's getting graphic in here. Oh my. Let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
We've talked about this story before, but it's kind of circulating again because the guy that's involved is coming out saying, hey, we have more of a timestamp of when this is going to happen. The man trying to de-extinct the woolly mammoth said it's highly likely that they're going to be back in the year 2028. So only a few years from now. How wild's that going to be? The guy's name is Ben Lamb. He's the founder and CEO of Colossal Biosciences, a biotechnology company working round the clock on de-extinction research. We've talked about this, I want to say, at least twice before. It's fascinating. And really the reason why they started doing it, it's not like they're just like, you know what, let's go ahead and de-extinct something. What do you want to de-extinct? I don't know. Maybe a woolly mammoth? Oh, that'd be fun. Let's do it. It's not like they did that. There's some thought behind it of that they could, because they're breeding them with, the scientists plan to use Asian elephants as surrogates for mammoth fetuses, which are to be created with replicated genes using the DNA of a close existing relative. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Huh? It's funny. I have my notes somewhere in my desk. Yeah, I was thinking about doing the same thing. He just beat me to it. Oh boy. Um, it's fascinating. They're doing it because it's going to help with a lot of the gases being released. Blah 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 blah. A bunch of smart stuff. Okay, there's a thought behind it. That being said, we talked about this before. That they're also another group is trying to de-extinct the dodo bird that was hunted out of existence. There's I don't believe they really know why the woolly mammoth died out, but it possibly could have been due to humans hunting them to extinction. Either way, it's fascinating, but it's disturbing because we've all seen freaking Jurassic Park.
Dino DNA.
You start messing with dino DNA, who the heck knows what happens? Oh, we'll control it. We'll control it. We'll get just females, blah 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 at first.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, that's right. It does find a way. I know we want to do this, but it's just really it's scary because they might be doing this for good reasons, have great intentions, and they might do it the proper way. But somebody's going to go out there and be like, hey, he's doing woolly mammoth. Let's make the saber-toothed tiger or something like that. Next thing you know, you're like, we lost the saber-toothed tiger. I don't know where he's at. Well, go find it. Do whatever you go shake its food bowl.
Din din. I want chicken. I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
Oh, here he comes. Oh shit, he's coming real fast. That'd be scary as snot. Oh my goodness. It's fascinating. Guys, it is. Like I've said before, somebody's going to do it responsibly, but for everyone that's doing it responsibly, you got to assume there's at least another person or entity, whatever, at least one that's going to be doing it irresponsibly. There's rumors about Plum Island just off the coast of, I want to say right around the New York area. And Plum Island's supposed to be kind of like a disease control type area, but there's also rumors that they were using that for experiments on hybrid animals, humans, blah, 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 right? And I believe they moved that facility into Kansas or Oklahoma recently, like within the past year, or they're planning on within the year, something like that. So, and there's a lot of alleged stories coming out of that. I wouldn't doubt it. If especially like a government agency thinks that somehow that they could grow or, create these animals that they could have some sort of control over and use them to their advantage for defense systems or something wicked like that, or they could just drop them in somewhere, whether it's something big or whether it's something small, and make it an invasive species and just devastate a landscape. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you're somebody like Putin or whatever that wants to fuck with the United States, they could create some, this is like real tinfoil hat stuff. I gotta be honest. Sorry. This is what happens when my brain just starts rolling. Basically, their scientist nerd people could create some sort of hybrid animal or, bring something back that would, dominate the ecosystem out here, something that could devastate our crops, whether it's locust or whatever. Shit, that was in the Jurassic World, whatever last one that they made, where it was like destroying the crops. I'm just saying, there's a little bit of truth in there. So, as neat as this is, as much as I can respect the brains that get put into this, it is kind of creepy. Speaking of creepy, I don't think I would do this. Did you ever see that movie with Ryan Reynolds where he was like buried alive? Something it might have been called Buried or something like that. Really, really great movie, but really disturbing too. But the reason I bring it up, I'm reading from Denver Westword to give them credit. Elitch Gardens in Denver is hosting its first ever Pine Box Challenge this weekend, offering 5 participants, like 200 people signed up for this, but they only picked 5, the chance to win nearly $900 worth of passes if they can survive an entire day in a wooden box. The contest kicks off at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, October 5th, and concludes at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, October 6th. Okay, no. Now, as I read more into it, maybe it's not that big of a deal. As they wrote this, in addition to claustrophobia, contestants will face a series of spooky trials in exchange for time out of the box or perks like access to a cell phone. These will include solo walks through the park's haunted houses, roller coaster rides in the dark, and surprises involving creepy, crawly bugs. No! You had me, then you lost me. That's according to Caitlin Beats. She's the marketing manager of Elitch Gardens. She said there's a little bit of torture involved. I mean, that's the point. We've got to have some fun, and we've got some fun stuff planned. Here's the other thing that's kind of weird. The wooden boxes built for the event are not as restrictive as you would think. There's an opening that's going to be cut in the lids, exposing the contestants from mid-chest up. Titties up. They're also going to have designated break times when they can leave the coffins to use the bathroom and eat meals, which will be provided. That's a CYA. That's so they don't get sued. You know, somebody's got a small bladder, they piss themselves, or maybe they start shitting themselves. You don't want that, or they hold it in. Next thing you know, they get a bladder infection or UTI, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I was like, UTI, did I say it right? Yeah, urinary tract infection. Stuff like that. We've talked about contests before where they're not going to be as grueling as before because people die. Would you do this? I don't think this would be a bad contest to participate in. I mean, it sounds like they give you bathroom breaks. They're probably going to feed you. I mean, then they take you out and put you on amusement park rides in the middle of the night. That would be kind of interesting. Be kind of scary, though, on a roller coaster, and you can't see where you're fucking going. But I don't see anything in this other than the creepy, crawly bugs that would make me go, I gotta quit. Because your face is exposed. You're not in the complete darkness. I don't know. And I get why they can't or they won't because of fear of being sued. I think they're doing it a good way. I just don't know if it's that intense. But I guess a lot of it depends on sleep. How much sleep are you going to get? And are they prepared to, if it's who can last 24 hours, are they prepared to give those 5 contestants all the prize? Because I have a feeling that at least 4 of these people are going to make it through. I could be wrong. I think it will be neat to see. As far as I want to see the highlights of it. I'm sure Denver Westword or somebody out there will have some video montage of what happened, and it'll be good, right? It'll be fine, and it'll be all mashed up, and they'll be like, "This is what happened," blah 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 blah. And I wouldn't be surprised if nobody tapped out, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal. The only thing that would really drive me nuts is if you're one of the well, actually, let's just say you're there and there's like one guy or one lady that just won't shut up. Some dude's just like blah 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 blah. Have you ever seen somebody that uh What We Do in the Shadows, Colin Robinson, who just bores people to death and he feeds off of that? He's an energy vampire. If you had somebody like that next to you, just won't shut up about just nonsense, that would drive me nuts. Maybe that's one of your strategies going in there is you don't shut up. You just can't shut your mouth, and maybe you can drive them crazy enough to make them quit. Assuming that you're pitted against each other, because it sounds like you could all win, but I don't know if it's me against everybody else. Yeah, and then like if like God damn it, Kyle will not shut his fucking mouth. He's just going on and on about transmissions and farm life and the potato salad, how he makes it versus how his grandma. You're like, oh my God.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
Kyle! Ah! I quit. What? You've been in here for 5 minutes.
What the fuck?
I know, but look at him. He just won't shut his mouth. Then Kyle's over there.
I didn't do fucking shit!
I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you do that? I think it'd be a lot easier, but I'm not doing it. And to be honest, got too much other shit to do. We talked about this before. This is kind of like an update episode. We were talking about Wendy's and the rumor that they were going to do their Krabby Patty deal. Well, it's official now. Starting on October 8th, Wendy's is partnering with Paramount to mark the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob Squarepants. Dude, I got to be honest. When my kids turn on SpongeBob, I watch it too. It's stupid funny. It's stupid funny. Anyway, they're launching the Krabby Patty collab, a special limited time menu offering. The collaboration features 2 new items available at Wendy's locations nationwide. The Pineapple Under the Sea Frosty is a vanilla Frosty swirled with a pineapple mango puree. That sounds good. A first ever flavor innovation for the chain. And the Krabby Patty Collab Burger. Collab? What are they trying to say there? Brings the famous animation burger to life, featuring a 1/4-pound beef patty, 2 slices of melted American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, and a signature Krabby Patty sauce on a toasted bun. This starts on October 8th. Both items will be available at Wendy locations all across the U.S., Canada, and Guam. I didn't know they had Wendy's in Guam. That's awesome. I had no idea. I think that's cool. We were wondering, were they going to try to make this a vegetarian one because they don't use beef in SpongeBob for the Krabby Patties. This sounds fine. It's obviously, this is just a burger with a signature sauce. So I'm curious of what the sauce actually is and how that transforms a basic cheeseburger essentially and makes it to something special. So that will be interesting. I like the sound of that vanilla Frosty with the swirl of pineapple mango puree. That sounds fantastic. My kids and I went and bought the wife and kids the chocolate Frosties the other night. And I got to be honest, that's freaking delicious. I like it. Their ice cream machines never seem to be broken at Wendy's, unlike McDonald's. Talking to you, Mickey D's. Get your shit straight. I like this. This is fun. It's going to draw kids and their parents to Wendy's. It's a fun way. We're all forgetting about the whole how Wendy's came out and they were trying to, mess with fluctuating prices like market prices. We all forgot about that. I didn't. And this is a good, fun way to get people in the door. I like it. And I'll I don't know how long it's going. I would imagine like a couple weeks just to see how it goes, because it could be really freaking popular. I think that'd be cool. Are you, I especially the frosty sounds fucking delicious. But I'm a burger guy too, so I'll hammer the shit out of that. Listen, the sauce better be good. Better be good. I don't. I'm curious to find out what the sauce is, and is it sweet? I would imagine it'd be more of a sweet lean because of the pineapple. I can't imagine they would go any other direction on that. Hey, one of the cool things I get to do is work with small businesses. And last night, my email blew up because Facebook finally got around to approving a post that I did for small businesses where I was reaching out and I made a post about helping out some small businesses, and holy poop on a stick. It was like tons. And I got meetings right after this with several small businesses about advertising. And that's what's cool about what I get to do. I know some people are like, I'm just going to do content. I don't want to use my platform for anything else. I like the idea of working with small businesses. It's really neat. I mean, I was talking to, geez, I don't even know, maybe like 30 different small businesses yesterday. We'll see how many of them follow through. I know it's a commitment to try to advertise and get the message out. And it's a little scary too. But here's the thing. I've been doing this for 22 years now. As of this month, I have been in Denver media for 22 years. I'm not just dicking around. I've been doing the podcast going on 4 years, come up in next April. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm working with a lot of small businesses. I cut my rates in half. Okay, I'm nuts that way. Okay, look at me, I'm crazy. Ha ha! But from now until October 31st, 2024, unless I just decide to stick with these rates, if you and your business commit to a 2-month trial, you could be a proud sponsor of the #1 comedy podcast in Colorado at only half the cost. All you got to do is shoot me an email. That's what everybody's been doing, to huffpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll send you more details. And then we'll talk. And then if you want to go forward, we can go forward. But I'm not going to be a butthole about it. Yeah, I know. I used it like I'm in 6th grade. Quit being a butthole. I'm not going to be a jerk about it and it just be like, no, you need to sign, and commit to this. I'm not going to be that way. I want to make sure your business is successful. If this is a right move for you, if you're ready for the advertising and you know ready for a good ROI on this, then that's fine. But I understand if you're not. So your company's message is going to be projected to the world via all podcast audio platforms, plus video on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And actually, I just started posting full episodes on TikTok this week. As of October 1st, I've been putting them full episodes on TikTok just to see. And it's just another avenue for me to reach listeners and potential clients for you in your small business. I get it. Advertising budgets can be slim, especially this time of year. I do. I understand it. It's a very tough time for small business. You want to spend money to make money, but your budget's low, so it's hard for you to justify spending money. And that's why I'm cutting you and your company a break. Half off sponsorship rates if you commit to a 2-month trial by October 31st, 2024. Just go ahead, shoot me an email like everybody else is doing, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. And you know what? Let's get things rolling. One of the funny things I used to do when I worked at the radio station, 104.3 The Fan, it started when it was AM 950 The Fan. And I worked with Scott Hastings and Alfred Williams, and we pretended that I was in a helicopter doing traffic reports because I used to do traffic reports. That was my thing. I worked at the radio station, but I also worked with, at the time, Clear Channel, which is now iHeartRadio, and they have a traffic company essentially that's in Denver, a hub, and we would do traffic reports for just about all the radio stations in Denver. There's 2 traffic reporting companies, Clear Channel / iHeart and Metro Traffic, 2 different entities. And I worked for the Clear Channel iHeart one. And to make fun of that in a sense, and just to have fun with the listeners, I used to pretend I was in a helicopter. I'd be up in the air, be like, "Oh, hey, things are going great up here," and I'd give like some weird. Let's see if I have the helicopter sound. Oh, I do. Hold on, ready? So I would be up in the helicopter. Let's see if I can do this. I'd be like, "Oh, we're headed over I-25. Looks like there's a crash on the left-hand side. Oh, nope, no, that's just a guy masturbating on the left-hand side of the road. Do avoid that. There might be some splashback." I wouldn't be that disgusting with it, but I would do stuff like that, and we'd do fake reports, and we'd call it the Jock Sniffer 1043 or Jock Sniffer 950, and we'd have fun with that. And it was stupid. It was. And I even at one point I had missile launches like, and I had different sound effects as I was running the board and doing fake reports and saying that we're spying on the Broncos. And at that time, one of the times, Josh McDaniels was the head coach of the Broncos, and he was being a dickhead and wouldn't let the media do as much as they used to, blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of fun. Really random. And the reason I bring that up is the helicopter thing is if you didn't see, Jerry Jones landed his helicopter in the middle of Cowboy practice. Yes, Jerry Jones. This Jerry Jones.
I want me some glory hole.
Jerry, that's not where the glory hole is. It's not right there. So Jerry, it literally in the middle of practice lands his he's not flying it, but he lands in the middle of practice. "Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm rich, and I'm your boss. Keep working. Go win me a championship." Just kidding. You guys are terrible, but still make me money. I don't like Jerry Jones. I am so grateful for the ownership group that the Denver Broncos have. I know the Broncos are struggling. Hey, they're 2-2 right now, okay? I feel like they're bouncing back. They're not fully there yet, but you don't have an owner that's going around being a dick like that and landing a helicopter in the middle of practice. Michael wrote, said, "And people wonder what's wrong with the Cowboys. Jerry has to disrupt practice for a look at me moment. It's not about the Cowboys, it's about Jerry. That is why there are grown adults with families that have never seen them in a Super Bowl. Their struggle keeps me warm at night." It's awesome. It is all about him, man. If it was about winning, he would step away from being the GM and hire somebody else, and he would keep it. He wouldn't be doing a weekly radio show / TV show or whatever the fuck he does as the owner. They need to focus on football, not Jerry Jones and his, business opportunities. He's kind of, now they're a little bit more successful than the Rockies, but Jerry Jones is very close to the Montforts, where it's not necessarily about winning. He says it is. The Montforts say it is, but it's not. He's living a lie. Because if it was, they'd be winning. They wouldn't be one and dones in the playoffs. Fucking Jerry Jones. Like how? Like I'd be so pissed off. I'd be like, dude, we're trying to work on shit. We're trying to get better as a team, and he's just like, "Hey, everybody, look at my helicopter. I'm just landing it. Look at me. I'm so rich. I'm so rich. Hey, Dak, don't throw it. Don't throw the football at me. Don't throw the football at me." Fucking Jerry Jones. What a clown, man. What a clown. And it sucks if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. That's got to be hard because you know that you've had some good pieces every now and then, but ultimately it just hasn't been it just hasn't worked. When's the last time you guys went to the Super Bowl? I mean, at least the Broncos won with Peyton Manning. But man, the Cowboys are just a shell of themselves. And if Jerry had any sense about them, he would go, okay, we need to change things up. And I think it needs to change up starting with me. I need to take a step back and let somebody else really take the reins. And I need to shut my fucking mouth and not give fuel to the opponents and just really just tear down my players by spouting off on my weekly radio show. I don't know. Jerry Jones is just trash to me. If you're a Bronco fan, you should be very grateful that Jerry Jones is not the owner of the Broncos. Okay? I know a lot of people don't like the Walmart essentially ownership of the Broncos, but I've just seen them make improvements. That's it. That's all. This is pretty cool. Arena football came back to Colorado last year. They played up in Loveland. The Colorado Spartans played their first season, in fact, at Blue Arena in Loveland. And for their second season, they're going to be moving to the Denver Coliseum, where they plan on staying for the foreseeable future. I think that's cool. Now, that being said, I don't know how great of a venue Denver Coliseum is. I remember when we had minor league hockey and we had the Denver Cutthroats at the Coliseum. And I remember watching a couple games and I'm like, oh, it's kind of shitty down here. It's not that great. It was fun. There was like maybe 20 people in the stands. And most of those were probably, the player's family or something like that. So we'll see. I think this will be cool. And I hope that they clean it up and really make it a fun environment. I want to say the Coliseum, it doesn't hold that many people. So that could make it a lot more intimate, a lot more of an exciting thing for the fans. I'll probably go to one of these games. I was going to reach out to them, see if we can get some advertising for them on here. And I think that would be cool. Ooh, what if we got like the end zone, the Huff Uncensored end zone? Like something like that. That would be cool, right? That would be so neat. The Huff Uncensored reaction, and it's just guys spouting off on how well they did or something like that. I think that'd be neat. I don't know. Are you going to check it out? Arena football's fun. It's not meant to be like a direct competitor of the NFL. It's not. It's just it's a similar game, but it's a lot different. There's a lot different rules. It's a much shorter field. It's a little bit more chaotic. It's actually, in a weird way, a little bit more exciting. So I plan on going to see one of those. I do. Let me know if you're going to join in and see one of those. And I got to figure out, how could I get the Huff Uncensored podcast to be sponsored over there somewhere, right? Something like balls. Oh, the ball. Like, let's see all balls camera. It's only faced at people's junk. That's so stupid. That's dumb. Let's not do that one. Anyway, you know what we need to do? Move on real quick. Holy crap, it got weird. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Bethany. Bethany wrote, by the way, I didn't realize Bethany was a name until, like, say, 10 years ago. I always thought that Beth was short for Elizabeth. I had never met anybody that ever was referred to by Bethany until about 10, 12 years ago when I moved into this house, and that's my neighbor's name. I'm like, Bethany? And at first I remember laughing, going, Bethany, that's not a real name. It is. I felt so dumb. I know it never happens. Never happens. Wild. But anyway, Bethany, thank you for sending this in. She sent this in via dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. And we're going into it again. I feel like we've talked about this game every single episode this week, and I'm fine with it because it's a rivalry game. She said, I hate the Raiders. By the way, what's your predictions for the Broncos Raiders? XOXO. Oh, hugs and kisses, I see. First of all, I hate the Raiders too. Don't like them. If you know they lost every single game for the next 20 years, I'd be happy with that. I'd be fine. Okay. My predictions, let's keep it simple. Broncos, Raiders, division rivals going head to head at Mile High. Here's the way I look at it. The Denver Broncos defense is going to be the main storyline for this game. And what's going to happen? They're going to be stepping it up and turning things up to 11 because they are going to dominate the weak-ass offensive line of the I almost said Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders. They are going to dominate. Gordon Minshew is going to be chewing on some grass because they're going to have his face down there, rubbing in his nose in his bad decisions, okay? That's what's going to happen. Denver defense, I expect you guys to have at least one score. That's right. I'm asking the defense to score some touchdowns. Let's make that happen. And as far as Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos offense, they're going to bounce back. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado, coming up on Sunday, and I expect Bo Nix and this Broncos offense to bounce back in a great way because they got dry balls. Those balls ain't wet anymore, and they're going to prove their worth. And Bo Nix, I'm predicting you got 2 touchdowns coming up this way. Broncos run game, you need to step up. Can you do it? Let's hope so, because if that run game is alive and well, that means the pass game is going to be live and well as well. Well, I said well a lot in that sentence, but here we go. Broncos are going to dominate and stop this nasty winning streak by the Raiders. Broncos win this one easily, 32-7. 32-7? What the hell? That's what I got going on for the Denver Broncos. Take it to the bank and go to betonline.ag and earn some money on that one. Boom. Unless I lose. Unless I screwed it up. Bet Online's like, I think you did that wrong. You did it wrong. Bethany, that was a totally ad-libbed rant of me trying to give a preview. I should have put some notes on the page. But the way I look at it is the Broncos are battling the Raiders, and as long as the Broncos defense continues to do what they do, they are going to have no worries when it comes to I keep wanting to say Oakland, the Raiders offense. Their offensive line is terrible. So expect there to be a lot of sacks and hopefully some turnovers, because that's the big thing. You got to turn over the ball. I think they can do that a lot. They're going to rattle the cage of not just of the quarterback for the Raiders, but they're also going to rattle the cage of this offensive line for the Raiders that is just having trouble after trouble. So expect them to dominate the Raiders offense. When it comes to Bo Nix in the offense for the Denver Broncos, the offensive line hasn't given up a sack for the Broncos in 2 weeks. 2 games, 0 sacks. Prior to that, they gave up 2 in each game. They're doing really well. They're improving. If they can continue to open up the holes for the run game and continue to try to keep Bo Nix clean, there's no reason why, mixed with the great weather, that Bo Nix and the Broncos offense can't have a field day against this Raiders team. Raiders are going to play tough. Their defense isn't just going to roll over, but this is a good test for the Denver Broncos offense. If they can come out here victorious and move the ball, there's no reason why I don't see Bo Nix throwing a couple more touchdowns and running away with this one. Again, 32-7 Broncos over the Raiders. Boom. Boom. Take it to the bank. Go to betonline.ag. Look, I did the same thing. I just repeated it, but I slowed it down. I don't know, man. Bethany, thank you so much for chiming in. If you want to be like Bethany, send me an email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials at dehuffpodcast. You guys are amazing. I want the Broncos to win. They have to win. They have to. Because I'm going to be pissed if they lose to the Raiders and make it 9 in a row. Listen, a lot of people are talking shit about Bo Nix. I think, who was I listening to? I think it was Cortland Sutton yesterday talking about how people don't understand. He said that a lot of people are like, it didn't look that bad as far as weather goes in New York. He said, you weren't there. It was a lot worse on the field. It was very messy and very slick. So, okay, that's fine. If that's the case, sure, I get it. That just means that when you got dry balls and good conditions, that you guys should be freaking like a goddamn steamroller over these guys. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of pressure. And if the Broncos don't win, expect Broncos country to quote unquote riot. They're going to be pissed and they're going to let everybody know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really appreciate it. I got some meetings lined up with some new potential sponsors, some small businesses. If you want to get your small business on this show so we can help advertise it, get the word out, hit me up on my email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, and we can try to work something out, see what we can do for you. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit subscribe. Give it a nice review if you could. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.